Welcome everyone. If you have not yet received a copy of the BSW series workbook, please be sure to grab one at colemantanner.com. If you're watching this online, there will be a link in the show notes where you can find 3 links to download today's worksheets. While we're waiting for others to join this workshop, take a look at the question on the next screen. What's one word people associate with your business, or what do you want it to be? Go ahead and share your answers in the comments, and we will get started in just a few minutes. Welcome everyone. If you have not yet received a copy of Hello again, and thank you for joining me for today's workshop, Crafting a Compelling Brand and Value Proposition. This is the 6th of 12 modules in the Bespoke Startup Workshop series. This series has been strategically designed for aspiring entrepreneurs, and early stage business owners who want a step-by-step roadmap that explains how to launch your first or subsequent business the right way, vastly improving your chance for success. While you're waiting to get started with the presentation, go ahead and share in the comments the answer to the question on the screen. What's one word that people associate with your business? Or what do you want that word to be? Today's workshop is sponsored by Coleman Tanner Consulting, your source for strategic business solutions. Buckle up, because we're going to take a quick trip into Clayton's life, where he's about to realize that being good enough isn't good enough. After finalizing his lean canvas, Clayton had clarity. He knew his audience, he knew their pain, and his beta launch had even led to a few paying clients. But then it happened. A potential client told him, "I like what you're doing, but I'm not sure how you're different from the others I've seen." That one sentence stopped Clayton cold. He realized his messaging was clear, but it wasn't compelling. So he got to work. Not only did he work on a logo or a color palette, but on something deeper. He asked himself, what do I stand for? Why should someone choose me? How can I turn my offer into a brand experience? Today's workshop is the moment that you stop blending in and you start building a business that people will remember. In this session, you're going to learn how to clarify your brand identity and emotional positioning. You're going to craft a value proposition that speaks directly to your customers. And you're going to communicate your offer with confidence and consistency. Let's begin. My lawyer, that would be me, tells me that I have to share this disclaimer up front so that I comply with federal and state law. This workshop provides general information and insights for educational purposes only. It is not intended to be, nor should it be construed as, legal or financial advice. The information presented is not a substitute for professional advice tailored to your specific circumstances. You should consult with a qualified legal, financial, and other licensed professionals before making any decisions based on the information provided within this workshop. We make no warranties or guarantees regarding the success, profitability, or other outcomes resulting from the application of any information presented in this workshop. Participants are solely responsible for their own actions, decisions, and the consequences thereof. Reliance on any information provided in this workshop is at your own risk. We disclaim any and all liability for any errors, inaccuracies, or omissions in the information provided, as well as any losses or damages that may arise from the reliance of this information. Please consult with your own legal and financial advisors to ensure that the information presented in this workshop is appropriate for your specific needs and your specific situation. Thank you. Before we proceed, here's a few housekeeping rules. Please be respectful to any person, whether in person or online, and pay attention to the speakers and avoid side conversations that would result in some type of a disruptive behavior. The agenda for today includes 3 presentations and 3 hands-on activities. While it's good to test your ideas and debate ideas that are new to you, Given the limited amount of time and availability for this workshop, we will not be entertaining, excuse me, we will not be entertaining challenges during the workshop, but you're encouraged to challenge these ideas on your own so that you can fine tune them so that they can fit your business and your strategies. Let's make this a positive and engaging experience for all participants, whether live or online in the comments section. Thank you so much for that. Before we proceed, I would like to present a little information about the backstory behind this workshop series, the BSW workshop. I recently co-authored a book I authored it using a resource called OpenAI, which you might have heard of, called ChatGPT. And the title of the book, The Bespoke Startup, a business incubator guide for aspiring entrepreneurs, clearly identifies who my target audience is, a startup who wants to do things in their own way. After I finished publishing the book and self-publishing it on Amazon, I began to create a series of workshops to teach the concepts that are inside of the book at a much deeper level so that I could give other entrepreneurs the opportunity that the information that I wish that I had when I was launching my first business years ago. On the next slide, I'd like to share a little bit of information about my company and what we do. At Coleman Tanner Enterprises, there's 3 different branches. We have Coleman Tanner Realty, Coleman Tanner Consulting, and Coleman Tanner Financial. Our mission is to provide small business owners with the guidance that they need to successfully launch, scale, and eventually sell their businesses using micro M&A and private equity strategies to achieve the pinnacle of financial freedom. At Coleman Tanner Realty, we help entrepreneurs buy and sell businesses. At Coleman Tanner Financial, we help more sophisticated businesses utilize bookkeeping and payroll and tax planning and business valuation and financial management advisory to provide them with all of the back office support that they need, as well as weekly coaching sessions or monthly coaching sessions, depending on the type of package that you acquire, to help fine tune your ideas and to track you and hold you accountable to achieve the goals that you decide that you're going to work on every quarter. At Coleman Tanner Consulting, we help with entity formation, corporate regulatory compliance monitoring, and other legal advisory services in developing a bespoke micro M&A growth strategy, as well as private equity funding, accrual, and small syndications, acquisitions of small businesses to grow your company, and all of the things that you will need to move your business from a entrepreneurial endeavor to an enterprise gazelle, which is nomenclature for a rapidly growing firm. And our end game is to help you place your business in a position to exit it with a golden parachute, preferably within 3 to 7 years, so that you can have the time and money freedom to achieve whatever your next life goal is, whether that be to launch another business or to travel around the world with your family and everything that you can imagine in between. At the Entrefluencer Training Company, we guide startup entrepreneurs through the pre-launch foundational stages of ideation, validation, branding, market research, and crafting an itemized launch plan, as well as provide you with marketing tips and support and recommendations for back office tools, customer support, and we show you how to use our proprietary small business improvement matrix that helps you as a small business owner or an influencer to mitigate risks, to optimize your company for quantum growth, and all leading up to what will hopefully be a successful exit for you and your company. The Bespoke Startup Workshop Series is designed for entrepreneurs, influencers, startup founders, and early stage business owners. So if you're one of those, you're in the right place. Now I'd like you to take out a sheet of paper and divide it into 3 columns. This brief self-assessment is not intended to criticize your unclear ideas, but rather it aims to illuminate ways to refine your business concepts. In column 1, draw a 1. In column 2, draw a 2. And in column 3, draw a 3. Now, I'd like you to answer the following question by giving yourself a rating from 1 to 5, with 1 being a low score, like an F in grade school, and 5 being the top score, like an A in grade school. The first question is this: How well do you know what makes a brand stand out? If you have a sound idea, give yourself a 5. If you have no idea, give yourself a 1. And if you're somewhere in the middle, you kind of know, but you may not be very clear about it, give yourself a rating between 2 and 4. Question number 2. We're going to do the same thing for column number 2. You're going to give yourself a rating between 1 and 5. The question is this: how good are you at crafting a strong value proposition, a UVP, a unique value proposition? If you're great at crafting these, give yourself a 5. If you're terrible at crafting a UVP, give yourself a 1. And if you're somewhere in the middle, give yourself a rating between 2 and 4. Now, our third question and our final question of this mini self-assessment is this: have you ever converted a brand message into a brand experience? If you've done this, give yourself a 5. That's amazing. If you have never done this, never even heard of this, give yourself a 1. We're going to find out today. And if you kind of heard about it, but you're not very clear, give yourself a rating somewhere between 2 and 4. All right, thank you for doing that. Now it's time for us to move into presentation 1. What makes a brand stand out? It's more than a logo. Your brand should evoke a feeling. Now let's turn to our introductory video. A successful business is one that evokes a positive emotional experience. Before Disney World became a household name, we had the circus and the amusement park. Disney changed the game, though, by creating an experience. How? Through visual storytelling. When you go on a ride at Disney, you aren't just getting on a roller coaster. You're entering into a story where you will have a calculated emotional experience. From It's a Small World to Thunder Mountain to the Pirates of the Caribbean, each ride has its own backstory leading up to the main attraction. And then when you're done with the ride, you enter into a shop where the characters come to life in the form of a plush doll or a figurine or a costume or a plethora of other little trinkets that help you take the experience home with you. Now the question is, how can you adopt the Disney strategy into your startup business? If you have any pressing questions during this presentation, please feel free to email me. My email address is john@colemantanner.com. Now, let's begin our first mini presentation. So your brand is the magical impression that folks conjure up in their minds about who you are, what you do, why you do it, why it counts, and how you make them feel. So go ahead and ask yourself, if you were Disney, what would you do? Or ask yourself, what would Walt Disney do if he was the owner of this business? To assist you in designing a brand experience, consider the following. Is your brand voice casual or formal? Is it motivational, like Tony Robbins? Or tactical, like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible? What are your values? Put another way, what do you stand for? What's your vibe? Is your brand more modern or classical? Is it luxurious or common? Is it bold or soft-spoken? Is it warm or cold? Serious or quirky? In summary, brands are remembered by the emotions that they evoke in you and in your audience, not just the facts that they're going to recall about the company or the time that they engaged you with for your products or services. So remember, you got to make it an emotional experience. That concludes our first mini presentation. Next up, we have a short hands-on activity that will take this lesson from conceptual to practical. We're going to create a brand identity snapshot. Let's get started. It's time to roll up those sleeves for our first activity, which is creating the brand identity snapshot. Here's the game plan. First, I want you to write down 3 words that describe the feel of your brand. Next, I want you to write down 2 values that you want to be known for. For instance, maybe you want to be known for honesty and innovation. And third, I want you to write down 1 emotional result that your customers will feel after working with you. For example, I want my customers to feel excited about the future because I'm showing them how to build a sellable business that will give them the time and money freedom that they will use to enjoy life at its fullest. Let's get the show on the road. Pause the video now to complete this activity. And when you're done, hit the play button when you're ready to move forward. All right, let's check back in with Clayton to learn what he did on this activity. Clayton wrote the following: feel, empowering, professional, clarity. For values, he wrote simplicity and service. I love that. And for emotional result, he wrote down clients feel confident and in control of their messaging. Good job, Clayton. All right, it's time for mini presentation number 2, crafting a strong value proposition, your message in 1 sentence. Let's go ahead and watch this intro video. Now let's move on to our second mini presentation of the day, crafting a strong value proposition, your message in 1 sentence. The goal of a strong value proposition is to drill down your unique value proposition, or UVP, into 1 sentence that convinces your prospective customer that you're the best person to give them what they want. Your unique value proposition is what sets you apart from your competitors. While you and your competition will generally offer the same product or service, each one of you will compete for customers by attempting to distinguish yourself one from the other. The thing that sets you apart is called a competitive advantage, or your UVP. It includes at least 3 different items: who you serve, what problem you solve, and how you achieve results. Put simply, why should I choose you over your competitors? What makes your product or service different and better? Let's dive in. Now let's move on to our second. All right. Just so you know, I'm wearing the same shirt because I just recorded these videos before creating this workshop presentation. All right. So just to let you know, I have other clothes in my closet. All right. So to craft your initial UVP, you can use the following value proposition formula. For instance, I would fill this out such as, I help small business startup founders and early stage entrepreneurs and influencers with strategic planning so they can start systematically, scale rapidly, and exit profitably with a golden parachute within 7 to 10 years. Now, here's 3 things to avoid when you're crafting your strong value proposition: vague benefits, generic audiences, and overloaded language. Firstly, avoid sweeping generalizations. Rather than say something like, I help people lose weight, try saying, I help implement a fitness implementation routine and diet routine that will help you reduce your body fat in 30 days or less. Secondly, there's a saying in business, the riches are in the niches. Another one is, in the world of marketing, try to reach everyone and you will reach no one. The message is clear. Get specific on your intended audience. Thirdly, don't stuff your value proposition with too many expletives. While one can make it sound stronger, too many can dilute your trustworthiness. For our next hands-on activity, we're going to rewrite our value statement. All right, I hope you're ready for some action because it is now time for hands-on activity number 2, rewriting your value statement. First up, we're going to draft 2 different versions of your UVP using the prior formula, making it a bit stronger this time around. Try to use words gleaned from your customer interviews that you've done in the past if you've attended the prior workshops. Go ahead and pause the video and write those two UVPs. And when you're done, hit the play button and we'll move forward. All right, so now let's check back in with Clayton's compass to find out where his entrepreneurial journey is leading him and us. Clayton's modified value statement drills down to early stage entrepreneurs, not all entrepreneurs. And his target audience, the problem that he solves is to clarify rather than simplify a much stronger marketing message. And the benefit he now conveys better is that they'll attract the right clients rather than grow their client base, moving from a logical to an emotional and stronger messaging. Wouldn't you want the right clients too? Bravo, Clayton. All right, my friends, it is crunch time, and we are on to the exhilarating conclusion of today's mini presentation. Brand messaging meets brand experience. So, before we dive in, let's watch this quick introductory video. Your brand message, also known as your 30-second elevator pitch, should be consistently visible across all platforms. This ensures that potential clients understand what you offer, how you can assist them, and it helps to build trust, to differentiate you from your competitors, to increase your marketing effectiveness, and to create a positive image for your company by engaging in goodwill, which helps to develop customer loyalty. Furthermore, an attractive brand also makes it easier to recruit and retain top talent. Basically, your brand helps to create a consistent and memorable experience, which further drives business success. Let's dive in to presentation number 3. Your brand message, also known. Okay, so here are 5 different places to start with. Your website headline, your social media bio, your sales page, and anytime you meet someone new and they ask what you do, you're going to tell them your elevator pitch, and you're going to include it in your email signature line. Here's a few more tips. Be sure to match your ICA, that's your ideal client avatar, match the ICA's language, speak in the same phrases that they use inside of your research that you conducted in the prior episodes. You want to drill down to one key pain point and provide one big win for them. Then use that same elevator pitch everywhere. You want to be consistent across all platforms. Keep in mind, a good reputation builds trust like a pro. Meanwhile, crystal clear communication is your VIP pass to conversions. For today's final activity, we will be creating our brand message deployment plan. For this activity, your task is to list 3 different places where you're going to include your UVP and how you will structure that UVP for each platform. The examples on the screen are from 2 of my businesses, Entrefluencer Training Company and Coleman Tanner Consulting. For instance, in the Instagram bio, you could say something like, empowering entrepreneurs and influencers to scale by leveraging micro M&A and private equity to retire with a golden parachute for time and money freedom. For your website headline, you could say something like, ready to take your business to the next level? ? And for your email signature line, you could say something like, your source for strategic business solutions. Now, those are mine, so don't steal them. Go ahead, you can steal them. Steal away. All right, let's check back in with Clayton one last time to see what he discovered when he was doing this activity and what his next steps are going to be. All right, Clayton's brand message deployment plan includes the following. For his Instagram bio, he wrote, helping founders simplify their brand messaging. For his website headline, he wrote, "Clarity in your message, confidence in your offer." I like that, Clayton. And then for his email signature, he wrote, "Clayton Jefferson, Brand Clarity Coach, yourbrandname.com, words that win clients." Very good, Clayton. Very good. Bravo. All right, my friends, thank you all for joining me today for this bespoke startup workshop. Here's a concise summary of our key takeaways. Your brand isn't just what you say, it's what people feel and then repeat to others. Your value proposition is your core message, and you want to use it everywhere. Repetition and clarity and consistency equals trust. Now, here's your homework assignment. I want you to finalize your value proposition. Use Clayton's compass to check your work for clarity and alignment. And get ready to come back for workshop number 7, where we'll be covering marketing basics and the 4 Ps for small businesses. Now it's time for you to ask me questions. Go ahead and write your questions in the comments, and I will get back to them as soon as I can. That's a wrap for this workshop. A huge thanks to you all for being part of the fun. But before you dash off, let me drop my contact info so that you can snag more goodies like this in the future, or get in touch with me for if you fancy teaming up. Here's my contact info. Please take a snapshot and get back in touch whenever you want to connect. I would be thrilled if you pass this information along to anybody that you think would benefit from this information, or that they could use a boost in building up their business strategy. And let's keep the conversation going. I wish you all epic wins on your entrepreneurial adventure, and I look forward to seeing you back for workshop number 7. Lastly, please accept my heartfelt thank you for inviting me into your home, your office, or on your mobile device to facilitate this workshop for you. I truly appreciate the opportunity to serve you as a business broker, a legal or financial advisor, a business consultant, an educator, or even a friend. And I look forward to collaborating with you in the very near future. Take care for now, and God bless you all. Bye for now.